singing from the stands. Pure Coys, everybody raise your hands. Pure Coys, pure Coys, pure Coys.
Hey, welcome to Pure Coys. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a fantastic, healthy, and safe weekend, and the Spurs result didn't depress you too much. Listen, we got a point, we didn't lose, so we have to take some positives, I guess. Today's video is titled, Is Ange's Sacking Inevitable? Let's get into that. But before I do, please like, please subscribe. It really does mean the world. I'm chasing down 450, hoping to get there as soon as possible. Listen, let's get into it. Before I start, this isn't an Ange out bashing. This isn't an argument of whether I want Ange sacked or whether he's good, whether he's crap. It really doesn't matter. Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong in this. It's all opinions. I feel at the moment as a fan base, we are so divided. It is so toxic. You know, if you're an Ange, you're hated because you support a manager who's not doing well. If you're an Ange out, you're not a real fan. It's all getting a little bit boring. If I'm honest, listen, as somebody who does YouTube, I've just started my YouTube channel like 3-4 months ago. You have to put content out, asking the questions. And sometimes these questions are difficult questions. Now, my opinion isn't right. It's just my opinion. And I shouldn't be bashed for my opinion, just like I wouldn't bash anybody else's opinion, because they are just opinions. We are all fans and we are all entitled to have our opinion. What I don't like is when people force their opinion on other people. And for me, I'm not doing that. I am literally just letting you know how I feel and asking the question, how do you feel? How do you feel about Ange? Is Ange's sacking inevitable? Or can he get himself out of this? Is he going to go on a run now of 6 or 7 games where we don't lose? Is this all part of the process? He did say there are going to be some bumps in the road, that it's going to be up and down. But for me, this is more down and up, and it's not fun anymore. I'm not enjoying watching Spurs play. Now, of course, I didn't enjoy Spurs under Conte particularly. I didn't enjoy us under Mourinho, under Stellini, under Nuno, because the football was a lot more defensive. I wanted a manager who was going to play attacking football. And wow, well, I've got a manager who now plays attacking football. So people will say, well, you got what you wanted. You got what you, this is a new buzzword, isn't it? You've got what you wished for. Well, I didn't wish for a manager who was going to play such attacking football that actually he was going to leave the back door open for teams and average teams and teams that we usually do pretty well against at home, just to give chances away willy-nilly. I saw a stat yesterday that in the last 5 games, we have conceded 91 shots. That's nearly 20 shots a game we're conceding. For me, that's not good enough. For me, that needs to improve. Yes, you look at other statistics will say that we're the highest scorers in the Premier League. So it's not all bad. And this is what you got to weigh up as a fan, isn't it? Yes, we're the highest scorers in the Premier League. We score goals. But defensively, we are shocking. And you might look at the goals conceded and be like, well, we haven't conceded half as much as these teams and that team. It's the chances we're giving up, the good chances we're giving up. If it wasn't for Vicario this season and even Foster coming in, who everyone was concerned that he was going to come in and do nothing, that he was a tree, that he couldn't get down, he's pulled off 3 or 4 fantastic saves to get us draws in the last 2 games. If it wasn't for him, we would have lost the last 2, 100%. So for me, this is the question. Is Ange's sacking inevitable? Because for me, we cannot keep playing this style of football and getting away with it. And recently, in this season, we're not getting away with it. We are not, in my opinion, moving forward. We are going backwards. As I've said in so many videos, we take 2 steps forward, we take 3 steps back. And for me, the next month, certainly the next 2 games, are massive for Ange Postecoglou. Let's have a look at the league table. This is a league table. Liverpool flying, having a great season. Their title to lose already after only 13 games. And that's another thing. People say it's only 13 games, and it is. But you look at the form, and it's not good. It's not good. You look at Spurs there, they are down in 7th place. And again, a positive fan will look at it and say, well, we're only 3 points off Brighton in 4th. So there's every chance. We are very much, statistically, still in the top 4 hunt. We're in all the cup competitions, still everything to play for. You could also look at it and say, well, if Bournemouth beat us next game at the Vitality, which is going to be a really tough game, by the way, already beaten City and Arsenal there under the lights. I don't fancy us, but we'll see. If Bournemouth beat us, they're down in 13th place. They go above us and we're in 7th. It's how tight the league is, which is why I'm saying the next 2, 3, 4 games in the league could be pivotal for Ange Postecoglou. And if we don't get the results, I think his sacking is inevitable, sadly. Listen, I'm a Spurs fan. I want Spurs to win every single game. I do not ever want us to lose a game. But my concern is that by the end of this Christmas period, Ange Postecoglou will be facing the sack. And that's because I look at the result, I look at the fixtures coming up. And because of the way we play, because the fact we are so open, because we give up so many chances every game, I don't look at the fixtures and I'm not confident in any of them. Bournemouth away. No, I'm not confident. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Bournemouth are a good side at home. They score a lot of goals. Yes, they concede goals as well. I can see there being goals in this game. But am I confident we're going to win? No. Chelsea at home. We are awful against Chelsea. So I've got no confidence we're going to get anything out of that game. Then we got Southampton away. That's probably the one game I'm thinking, if we're going to win any game, we'll win that game. But then, of course, Liverpool at home in the league. Nottingham Forest then away. Forest having a great season. I am really concerned this next month will basically tell us if Ange is a good manager or not. Listen, I've got my suspicions that he's not quite cut out for Premier League football. That's just my opinion. Listen, if you love Ange, more power to you. That's fantastic. I want Ange to win as well. I hope we win our next 4 or 5 games. Ange turns it round and suddenly we're looking at top 4 with through to the semi-final of the League Cup. I'd love nothing more than that. But my concern is that's not going to happen. And if this doesn't happen, if the next 4 or 5 league games, we only get 1 win, say, a couple of defeats, and then we go out of the League Cup, what do we do? What do we do then? I guess we can only take it game at a time, but I'm looking at it in chunks of games now, and I'm thinking, I'm not confident we're going to win that, and I'm not confident we're going to win that. And if we don't win that and we lose that, we're going to be right down the table. And then questions need to be asked. Listen, this is my question to you. Is Ange's sacking inevitable? Can he get out of it? Can he put a run of form together? For me, the biggest concern yesterday was the lack of leadership on and off the pitch. You know, Basuma putting out fires all over the pitch. Couldn't do his one job because he had to do 3 or 4 different jobs. The players that come in actually did well. Forster, Davis, Dragushin, even Werner played okay. It's the first team players, the Poros, the Udogis, the Madisons even, the Sunnies, the Johnsons, that for me don't do enough. And they've let the side down. They've let the manager down. But at the same time, the manager then needs to do something. When Fulham scored the equaliser yesterday, to a man, the Spurs players just walked with their heads down. If you look at it, there's a couple of videos going around. It's almost like Madison's like a spoilt kid and he hasn't got what he wanted. You know, like flinging his arms and like kicking the ground as if, you know, something. That's when you want your leaders to be, come on, let's pull this back. Let's do something. Not one of them. Not one of them, which is so disappointing. And I'm including the manager in that. doesn't do enough from the sidelines. We need somebody out there who's going to change a game. You saw when Fulham equalised, even when they went down to 10 men, the Fulham manager had the players around him. He was giving instructions. He was letting people know what to do. It's almost like Ange just lets them get on with it on the pitch and isn't for changing. It's like, well, if they make a mistake, that's on them. Come on, man. You're paid to manage. Manage your team. Listen, I'll leave it there. Let me know in the comments what you think. Be honest. Don't give me any bashing. Just be honest. Do you think his sacking is inevitable? Do you think he can pull it back? Or do you think he is all but done? Listen, we will find out in the next couple of weeks. Listen, guys, have a great Monday and have a great week. I will be back tomorrow for Beyond the Lane with my good friend Dan from the Spurs Dan List, where we have Iggy and Sava on the show. Looking forward to that. We'll be talking all things Spurs, of course. Listen, there's not a lot to be positive about at the moment for me, but we will try to be as positive as we can be. Join us for that. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and regardless of whoever the manager is, always, always stay Spurs.
Pure coys, singing from the stands. Pure coys, everybody raise your